Father Varghese Panangatt is an institution in himself. Not only is he the first mentor to thousands of students who began their journey from St. Joseph's School, but he is also the man we revere, respect, and idealize. Rising from a humble background in Kerala, he went on to study in Pune, Baroda, and finally to the United States of America. If there is one person who has been there since the inception of St. Joseph's School, it is him. It was his vision, his ideals, and his dreams that have culminated into what we today call as the St. Joseph's School. We know the man, but not his story. We know the school, but not what it took to build it. We know the present, but not the history. So let us explore in the first chapter the becoming of a man called Father Varghese Panangatt.
I was born at a place called Pulingun, a village in the Alapi district of Kerala. Generally, this place is known as backwaters. Lot of tourists go there. That means lot of rivers, canals, and people travel by boats. And generally, the occupation is cultivation, paddy field, and coconut trees, and of course, lot of fishing. I was born in a family near the river called Pamba River. It's a huge river. We had a cultivation of the land. That is only once a year. The other time, flood time, the whole area will be flooded. Fortunately, we have a religious community, Christian, Catholic religious community is there. And a good school is there named St. Joseph's School. I started my education up to class 10 in that school. Then when I was in high school, the principal was a very holy priest. He took a special interest in me, so I was closely associated with him. So I was going to the church every day. Then only the idea of becoming a priest got into my head. Meanwhile, my cousin, that is my father's brother's son, he was already a priest or missionary in Patna diocese. When he used to come for holidays, I used to be associated with him. I used to hear the stories of Bihar. So I got interested to go to North India. After my matriculation, I happened to meet a priest who was from Bhagalpur. After matriculation is the time, at that time we are only just 15, that age. There we were a group of 7, 8 young students. From that batch, only 2 of us survived. You have to do 2 years of preparatory studies. You know, you come to know how to familiarize with the people, food, language. And if you are not happy with it, you can go back. It was quite difficult, and especially at that time, you had to get up in the winter. Winter was the toughest time. We were covering with a blanket early morning, but then you had to get up at 5 o'clock and go to the church to pray. So there was the church, I had to walk almost half a kilometer. You will see the other end of the campus. So one day I found it very difficult. So I decided to leave. So I went to the rector. Rector means the father in charge. I said, I have to go back. Then he said, what is the reason? I said, I can't get up early in the morning. Then he said, you wait for 2 months. After 2 months, you come and tell me. Then I forgot about the decision. Then at the end of the 2 years, there will be exams. If you are very bright, then you are sent to Papal Seminary, Pune. That is the best for priestly training. That changed my life because that is very broader. It is something like international. So I did 1 year there, then 3 years of graduate course, graduation in philosophy. Then again 1 year I took for a higher level, master's level, like a licentiate they call it. So I have a degree in philosophy, graduation, bachelor's and master's. And then you have to take a break 1 year. That was 1967. And at that time also they will test you whether you have got that inclination to become priest. I was 6 months here in Bhagalpur, 6 months I went to Jharkhand. There is a place called Prayagat.
To become a priest, a degree in theology is compulsory. So father went on to study theology again in Papal Seminary, Pune for the next 4 years.
So at the end of the 4th year in theology, after consideration and everything, they will give you permission to become priest. So I was ordained in a new Chakai. Chakai is in Munger, where with another 2 candidates. We were 3 as ordained as a priest. Then I went to home to celebrate that. And while I was completing, only Bishop asked, "What is your interest? Where do you want to go?" I said, "I want to do something for people, especially for Santals, tribal area." So I decided to go for a post-graduation in social work. At that time, one of the best postgraduate program in social work was in Baroda University, MS University. You have to do classwork, coursework, and field work. That was a good experience. Then I did my master's and I was the topper of that year. So then I completed my course, came back here. Then I was appointed in this is called Bishop's House. So the bishop resides, Bishop's House. So I was made in charge there and the church there. So his church I have to manage, conduct the service. And also I was asked to teach the minor seminary where I studied the new young candidates who are coming. Then the bishop asked me to start a informal school with the Sisters of Mother Teresa for the poor children. Then later many children came, and then it was developed into a bishop urban school. That is a kind of Hindi medium. That was my first school. Then when I was about to complete my 4th year, Bishop was asking me, "Do you like to continue your further studies in USA?" I could go into Columbia University, but that was purely education. But Cornell had a college called College of Human Ecology. That was one of the first colleges in USA. There is a department called Human Service Studies, which deal with community development, developmental studies. So this was the thing what I wanted to do among the tribals. They said you have to do 4 semesters of different studies in different 3 fields, which I took. Major was Human Service Studies, HSS. The other one, minor, was Communication. The third was education, adult and continuing education. I was already 32, so partially I was associated with that American religious life, and then going to the university.
Then he studied the lives of tribals in depth and compiled his thesis under the title Indigenous Leadership and Tribal Development.
When we try to improve people, we people who are going and trying to help Santals, we are outsiders. Now, what is the role of the local people, local community? I was fascinated. And my professor was so pleased that he sent me to a very interior part of USA where the American poor people lived. So that is a field experience how the poor of a rich country, they behave. What man proposes, God disposes. Something like that it happened because of the area which presently St. Joseph's School is there. That was a property of a mission trust where they had a leprosy colony which was known as Kuriyakoti. Now they left it and it was abandoned, and mostly dacoits used to go because no people used to enter there. That property they wanted to transfer to Bhagalpur diocese. So we began to think, what should we do with this land? So in a meeting they decided we will open an English medium school. Before I came, when I was in the States, they already made up the mind bishop. It is only mainly bishop. New man will start something different because it is challenging area. So it was unexpected. I was not very happy to start a school because I have prepared, my friends are waiting, and I wanted to do something really good where I prepared for 6-7 years. But then, as a priest, you have to be obedient. And usually the priests don't stay very long in that place. After 4 or 5 years, they will get a transfer. So I was expecting I will get out. Meanwhile, they were putting boundary for the would-be St. Joseph's School. There was no boundary wall. So I went to the SP. I still remember. Then after hearing me, he said, "Father, you bring your new school, you start in Tilkamanji area, I will give you full protection, but not in that place." So I thought I had to survive by my own wits.
With this, in 1983, began the journey that transformed the lives of thousands of students of Bhagalpur. In St. Joseph's School, they found a second home. In Father Varghese Panangatt, they found a mentor and an inspiration. The seed that was sown in 1983 grew into a plant of excellence, virtue, and discipline. And we will explore this in the next chapter.